call him, quote-unquote, a crafty left-hander.
I was about to say that, Marty. Crafty would certainly be the word. You know, he reminds me of, he's got great stats, 2-0 to start the season. He looks an awful lot, reminds you an awful lot of a great left-hander that was here many years ago, and also the Reds, Harvey Haddock.
Absolutely, and I think people are going to be interested if they can remember back, or if not, they're going to be surprised at his delivery to the plate. He really throws across his body. That can be a real distraction for hitters.
I'm going to tell you one thing. If you were up there left-handed, you might want to leave town tonight. He's really tough to hit it from that side.
Well, the Reds, of course, have stacked their lineup with right-handed hitters. Billy Hatcher, the first up to lead it off. And again, the Reds playing without third baseman Chris Sabo, continuing to be bothered by the lymph gland problem on his right side. Hatcher waiting, and the pitch is in for a call strike. And this game is underway.
Marty, we're going to have the pleasure tonight probably seeing two of the better changeups in our league.
Tomlin, quick worker, coming back to Hatcher, and Billy bluffs a bunt. The count evens at 1 ball, 1 strike. Maryland native now makes his home in Madison Heights, Virginia. Went to Liberty Baptist in Lynchburg. That produced a former Pirate in Sid Bream, Yankee pitcher Lee Guterman. Base hit left field, and Hatcher gets things underway with a solid line drive single. This copyrighted telecast is presented courtesy of Multimedia Entertainment Incorporated by the authority of the Cincinnati Reds and is intended solely for the private non-commercial use of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, transmission, and/or other use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this game without the express written consent of the Cincinnati Reds is prohibited. So Hatcher aboard, leadoff single to left, and that brings to the plate second baseman Mariano Duncan.
When Tomlin was brought up by the Pirates last year, the intent was to pitch one ball game, but he was so impressive they kept it.
He made a start against the Reds last season and lost 6-2 to Rick Mailer. Here's a bunt caught by Tomlin, and he'll not be able to double up Hatcher at first base. So not a good one by Mariano Duncan. And the Reds' problem set in early tonight. When you're not swinging the bat well, which this team has not done, you've got to do the little things like this, which Duncan did not do. Tomlin made the play, but had no play at first base on Hatcher, and with one away in the inning, here's Barry Larkin.
Billy really wants to keep his eye on Tomlin because he has one of the better moves around. He has really a fine move to first base.
Larkin taking high, ball 1. Barry batting .256 on the year. Has shown signs recently, however, of starting to get things in order. A brief lead over at first by Hatcher, and the pitch is in for a strike. Talking about Tomlin's moves and his 15 career starts, he has been credited with 8 caught stealings or pickoffs. Guys he's trapped off of first base, and they've thrown on down to second to knock him off. So I'm sure that is something that was gone over rather precisely with the Reds hitters. And be careful. Don't go to sleep over there when you get your lead against this guy. Fastball is high. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Well, his move to the plate is so awkward. The way he throws the foot towards first base, he really keeps you an extra step there.
2-1 the count on Larkin. And this reminder, to date, the total of the Caring Program for Children, $18,800. Thanks to Barry Larkin, Cellular One, Crest, and Community Mutual. Here's a pitch, runner going, the throw by Slaught, and they are waiting on Hatcher. Now you have to wonder if somebody might have missed a sign. Because Billy had no chance. That's how he was out from here to there on the attempted steal.
He was out halfway down the line. It's not even a contest. Wasn't a very good jump, but also at the plate, somebody's got to protect him.
And Larkin did not offer at the pitch, and now the count goes to 3-2 on him. So 2 away in the inning, nobody on base, and a 3-2 count on Larkin with Eric Davis on deck. Van Slyke started in, but now goes back on the ball, and the Pirates head toward the dugout. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left. After a half, the Reds nothing, and the Pirates are coming to bat.
On weekends, Johnny benches at the tennis court.
Cleveland's Pittsburgh Pirates.
Okay, Marty, these are the hitters that Mr. Hammond will be facing tonight. Leading off, playing first base tonight, Gary Reedus. The second hitter, the shortstop, Jay Bell. In center field, hitting third, Andy Van Slyke. The cleanup hitter will be right fielder, Bobby Bonilla. The left fielder hitting fifth, Barry Bonds. The catcher, Don Schlott, followed by third baseman Curtis Wilkerson. In the 8th spot, second baseman Jose Lean. The pitcher will be Randy Tomlin hitting ninth.
And there's young Chris Hammond, the native of Birmingham, Alabama. Glowing numbers, 3-0, 164 ERA. He's made 4 appearances, 3 starts, and in those starts has gone 6 innings, 7 innings, and 7 again. Gary Reedus leading it off, and the breaking ball missing.
His whole secret, Marty, has been control. He's been ahead of the hitters.
And it was a radical turnaround, really, given the way he pitched when he came up with this club from Nashville last year and the way he pitched in spring training. Working behind, and boy, as soon as the season started, things kicked in for him. Reedus will be retired on that fly ball to Glenn Braggs in right field.
Batting second, shortstop, number 3.
Here's shortstop Jay Bell, whose only 2 hits this season against Cincinnati have left the yard. He homered at Riverfront. He homered here last night.
Marty, when you look at his career statistics against the Reds, they're just truly unbelievable. I mean, he just really wears them out.
Now, he'd be all world against everybody if he swung the bat against the other ball clubs the way he swings it against Cincinnati. A .359 lifetime batting average off of Reds pitching, and there are his numbers against the league this season. Hammond is familiar with his Pirates ball club. His only 2 previous starts against Pittsburgh coming last August, both resulted in losses. Bell swings on the change. He lost 3-1 at Riverfront on the 18th of August, giving up 7 hits and 3 runs in 4 1/3 innings, and then was beaten rather handily here, 9-3 on the 23rd of August. 3 hits, 3 runs, and walked 5. He had all sorts of trouble in that game throwing strikes. That has not been a problem this season to date. And he jumps ahead 1-2 on the foul back by Jay Bell.
Would you say Chris got baptized under fire last year in a pennant drive against the Eastern Division leaders?
Well, it almost bordered on being unfair. He came up and was thrown right into the thick of things when there were clubs making runs at the Reds. A changeup hit to right. Bell stayed back on the ball, but Braggs makes a play in fair ground, and they're 2 out.
They are going to see their share of changeup tonight.
Andy Van Slyke with 2 away in the inning, 1 hit shy of 1,000 in his major league career. When hitless here last night, a ball. Bottom of the first inning, no score here in Pittsburgh, and boy, a big night in Pittsburgh professional sports. The Penguins playing the Boston Bruins at the Civic Arena in the Stanley Cup playoffs on the other side of downtown Pittsburgh, and the Reds and the Pirates teed it up here at Three Rivers. 1 ball, 1 strike. Hammond, 2 Van Slyke, and it's high a ball. Our plate umpire tonight is Gary Darling. At first base, the crew chief Doug Harvey, Tom Hallion at second, and Dutch Rennert, the umpire at third. Straightaway left field, and an easy first inning for Chris Hammond. 3 hitters, 3 fly balls. They tried them all, left, center, and right. And at the end of 1 complete, 0-0.
I don't want gimmicks. I want a long-distance phone company I can count on. I'm happy with AT&T, so, you know, that's where I'm going to stay.
In dealing with them, in signing up with them, the information they sent me, whatever they told me they were going to do, they did.
Dependability. That's the name of the game, really. AT&T, they'll stand by their word.
It means I have the best. When I have the best, it means that I can rely on it.
Lake Cumberland State Dock, nestled in the hills of Kentucky's Lake Cumberland State Resort Park. Unencumbered and uninhibited, where you can come as a group and zoom along, party along, play along, or drift along. In a superb rented houseboat with all the comforts of home and just about anything else you can dream of. Rental prices from $27 to $49 per couple per day, now through early June. Call the State Dock, 1-800-234-DOCK for a brochure and reservations.
I used to be 24 good men here eating my rattlesnake stew. Jake, Dead-Eye Peach. They're all gone now. Oh, where'd they all go, sir? Arby's for that Albuquerque turkey sandwich.
Arby's new Albuquerque turkey. Thinly sliced turkey, lettuce, tomato, onion, cheese, and our special southwestern sauce.
Them boys just don't know what they're missing.
As a young boy growing up on the family farm, Scotty Basler worked hard. His dream became a reality. Chosen UK captain under coach Adolf Rupp. As mayor of Lexington, Scotty Basler's dreams are of a different kind. 32,000 more people working, cutting property taxes 4 straight years, delivering on the court, on the farm, as our next governor. Scotty Basler. Some talk change, others cause it.
Second inning underway, and quickly Eric Davis falling behind to Randy Tomlin. No balls and 2 strikes. He who has hit home runs in each of the last 2 ball games, in the 8th on Sunday at home to beat the Cardinals and Lee Smith, and an 8th inning home run last night to keep the Reds from being shut out. Tomlin pitches him inside. So Eric batting .286 with 2 home runs and 5 RBIs. 2-2.
He really spots that fastball. He certainly doesn't want you to hit that fastball.
Terry Lee on deck. He'll be followed by Glenn Braggs. And Davis hanging in.
When you look at the job that Tomlin did last year, Marty, after he came up in the 12 starts that he had from the date he was brought up here in August, he had fewer base runners for any starting pitcher in the league the rest of the year, so they didn't have a whole lot of chance getting there.
Again, the 2-2 pitch. And Davis becomes Tomlin's first strikeout.
Here's his last pitch. It's an up and in fastball. Put it all the way across the plate. I think he surprised Eric with velocity.
He doesn't want to throw that pitch down the center of the plate, though. He'll spot it on the outside corner, on the inside corner. Hope you'll chase a bad one, which Eric might just have done. Here's Terry Lee making his first at-bats and joining the club. And they have pitched into the 6th inning in 12 out of their 13 starts.
That's quality.
Yeah. Now, this is a staff that has 3 left-handers, and the Reds also are blessed with 3 left-handers in their 5-man rotation, and you won't often see that. Speaking of Zane Smith, he's charting pitches for Randy Tomlin tonight, and he will be the man in the middle of the arena in the series wrap-up tomorrow evening. Ball 3, 3-1 on Braggs. Here in the inning, Davis has struck out. Terry Lee, a broken bat soft line drive that the pitcher took care of. Foul ball, and Braggs will come back with a count of 3-2.
It's as close to the top as these folks are here. And we got together and decided some of these things we've been doing on the field. It was one of those deals back in those days, the players took care of their own problems. If you were goofed off in the field, they took care of it.
Right.
And I think we settled a few things and it turned it around, and we had a pretty good year.
Hit hard, but Bonds is there, and the inning is over. That ball took off on him. The Reds are out in order. We have progressed through 1.5 in Pittsburgh. Neither team has scored.
I'm about to ask a real video freak which will score more points.
All Reds fans will love. It's Sports Channel Cap Day on Saturday, June the 8th, when the Reds take on the Phillies at 7:05. The first 25,000 fans in attendance will receive a free Reds cap, compliments of Sports Channel. This year's Sports Channel will bring you 30 exclusive Red games on cable television.
Chris Hammond to Bobby Bonilla on the second, and the changeup stays upstairs to the switch-hitting Pittsburgh right fielder, who has homered 4 times so far with 20 runs batted in. He's been tough on Reds pitching, but that's normal. Up 9 times, has had 5 hits.
He had a pretty good night last night.
Drove in a couple of runs. And the changeup misses. 3 balls, no strikes. So Hammond retired Reedus and Bell on fly balls to right. And Van Slyke on a fly out to left in the first inning, and now needs a strike in the worst sort of way, and he got it. 3-1.
I tell you what, Marty, that 2-0 pitch was really a gutsy pitch. When you take a young man that's his rookie season in baseball throwing a 2-0 change.
Coming back with a 3-1 Hit hard, but foul on a full count. Bonilla, Bonds, and Don Slaught here in the second.
Mr. Bonilla is a pretty menacing sight at that plate, either side.
Yeah, we talked about the hockey game. The question right now is whether or not, well, it looked like she was watching the baseball game. Strike three call, and there was a changeup on the 3-2 and a dandy.
That's a gutsy call there, too, partner. Yes, sir. 3-2 change. That's a big league pitch right there. Watch him get out on that front foot. He's got him fooled. Look at him. He's already out there.
He couldn't pull the trigger, and he said something to the plate umpire, but he knew he had no gripe at all.
He also said rookies aren't supposed to pitch like that.
Oh, a big strikeout and a good comeback effort for Chris, and now going to work on Barry Bonds. Ball to him.
You know, we talked about the problems the red hitters have had. When you look at his average at 156, you can't believe that either.
No. Well, he turned him loose. Jimmy Leland did on a 3-0 pitch last night with a couple of runners on base, and we talked about it at the time, and Jim Leland addressed the topic after the game. He said, hey, you've got to give a guy like a Barry Bonds the latitude to swing away on a pitch like that, especially when he's struggling. And Hammond starting out against Bonds is exactly as he did against Bonilla, 3 balls and no strikes. He came back to strike out Bobby Bonilla. And a little bit out of sorts with himself over his inability to throw the ball over the plate. There's a strike. And he didn't think it was a strike at all, Barry Bonds, as he offers up a difference of opinion with the plate umpire Gary Darling. 0-0 score here in the bottom of the second. 3-1 coming, and strike 2 call.
There's another big league pitch right there.
Fastball on the black.
You know, hitting is basically down throughout the league, Marty. You're talking about 25 games or so in the season, but when the top 10 hitters in the league include a 307 hitter, you know, that's a pretty good tip-off.
3-2 pitch, the changeup. Well, he threw a 3-2 change and got Bonilla looking, threw a 3-2 change, and Bonds fouled it off. Well, I'm sure the Pirates knew the book on Chris was he'll throw that changeup at any point in the count. It really doesn't make any difference, and he's already shown him that. Hammond gets a put out, and Chris pitching from behind here in the second inning, or pitching backwards, as Pete used to say, but getting it done.
I remember a guy that pitched many years ago, a great pitcher, pitched the same way. He did a pretty good job, Mr. Johnny Podgers.
Not too bad. Pitching coach now, the Philadelphia Phillies. Here's Don Slaught with 2 out. Nothing beats the excitement of Cincinnati Reds baseball, and when enjoying the game, nothing beats the king of beers. So clean, crisp, and cold, nothing beats a Bud. The Pirate catching situation well fortified with right-handed batting Don Slaught and left-handed batting Mike LaValliere. Picked up Slaught last year from the New York Yankees. Batting .321 with 9 hits so far and 28 times up and 3 extra base hits, all doubles. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and Hammond getting it done, trying to make Slaught the 6th straight batter that he's put aside. 2 outs here in the second, no score, nobody on base for Pittsburgh. Well, the Pittsburgh Penguins must just have scored. That turns the clock back a few years.
Boy, not thought of that, buddy.
It turns the clock back probably 15 years or so. It was in the other Pennsylvania city, Philadelphia, when the Reds and the Phillies were playing at Veterans Stadium, and the Philadelphia Flyers, the Broad Street Bullies, were playing I think the Boston Bruins in the Stanley Cup playoffs, and the 17,000 and odd people who were in the stadium were there because they couldn't get tickets to the hockey game. Every time the Flyers scored, the stadium erupted. We documented it every time, and it didn't sit well with front office management, notably Mr. Wagner. They played again the next night and must have scored 15 times, and we didn't say a word. We'll always remember that, because at one point, Joe Morgan was at first base, and Tommy Underwood, a left-hander, was pitching for Philadelphia. He went into his stretch. Morgan took his lead. The stadium erupted when the When the Flyers scored, Morgan dove back into first base, and Underwood stepped off the pitching rubber. They had no clue of what was going on. Here's a 2-2 pitch to Slaught. Whoa, close, but no cigar for Hammond, and he's gone 3-2 on his third straight hitter in the inning.
What did Danny's Ozarks think they were cheering him when he went out to get the pitcher?
Yeah, that's what Joe said. Ovation for the manager. Base hit. In case you're wondering, Mario Lemieux has scored the first goal of that Pittsburgh-Boston matchup. Yeah, there's a young man who couldn't get a ticket to the hockey game. So the Pirates have their first base runner, and the inning continues for third baseman Curtis Wilkerson. Ball one. They continue to play without their regular third baseman Jeff King, bothered by a back problem. So Wilkerson has started at third base in each of the first 2 games, after they went with Bonilla in the wind-up to the series against Houston here on Sunday afternoon at third base. Oliver out to the mound, and a pattern has started to develop here in this inning. Bonds, but Slaught banged a 3-2 hit to left field, and he's fallen behind 2-0 to Wilkerson.
That's not advisable against any club, especially these folks here, because they leave the dugout swinging.
It's certainly been a long-time trademark of Pittsburgh Pirate baseball teams, and Wilkerson hacking, 2-1.
Speaking of hacking, we mentioned this earlier in one of our telecasts. A young man that just got the hit at first base, Mr. Slaught. Only 6 of his base hits went to right field last year. So you think he's a pull hitter like he just rooped that ball left?
Dead pull hitter. Ball 3. Chico Lean on deck. Slaught looking across at third base coach Gene Lamont. Full count. So Chris here in the second is 4 for 4. Has gone the distance on every hitter he's faced. Here's a strike 2 pitch.
If that should continue, it will be a long night.
Yeah, it will. Slaught will be running with 2 out in the inning. And Lean will hit with 2 aboard. Well, we've seen Oliver go to the mound. I think very shortly we'll see Stan Williams go out. Not a matter of Chris not throwing the ball well. He's throwing the ball very well. It's simply all of a sudden he is laboring with his control out there, and now faces a dangerous hitting Lean with Slaught at second and Wilkerson at first and 2 away. Nice play by Quinones for the force out on Slaught, and that's it as far as a Pirate. We roll on into inning number 3, 0-0, as Tomlin goes to work on Quinones, and Louis takes a strike. He had some bad hacks last night, which doesn't make him exactly unique. Went 0 for 4. Fly to the warning track to leave the bases loaded in the first inning, and then had 3 weak pop-ups and stings one back into left field. Bond's got a late break on it, but has time. And to the warning track to pick it off.
Speaking of pop-ups, last night I think it was about 7 in the infield. That's a long night.
Here's Joe Oliver with 1 out. Now, we were looking back, prompted by a comment Lou made earlier this afternoon down in the clubhouse, talking about if this ball club had scored up to this point 20 more runs than they have scored, which would have put them about in the middle of the 12-team pack in the National League, that it would mean the difference in 5 more victories. I went back, and if they scored 11 more runs, it would have been the difference in 5 more wins. And rather than be 13-11 right now, they'd be 18-6. So it has really been something, and it's gone on far longer than I think anybody had expected it to. Still in all, they're only a half a game back after their loss last night. San Diego was idle, so the Padres have the top spot all to themselves, a half a game in front of Cincinnati. Two and 2 on Oliver. It's really difficult and probably not fair to pick out one area that is not producing, but Lou is certainly not happy with the combined offense that he's gotten out of his catching core, namely Oliver and Reed. From deep in the hole, way offline, and Oliver will go on to second base. I would imagine that's going to be scored an error all the way. A good throw gets Oliver, but we'll wait and see.
I think he forgot who was running. He had plenty of time to set up. He throws the ball off balance and doesn't have to.
No, a speedy runner would have caused him a problem, but a good throw, and he gets Oliver easily. So the Reds catch a break as Oliver goes to second base, and we still await a scoring decision. And they set a base hit, apparently.
I'm sure Joe
will take it. It'll be a single and a throwing error against Jay Bell, and indeed he will. So here's Hammond with one out.
Speaking of hitting, he's done a pretty good job this far.
Most of the pitchers have. Those numbers there rather impressive. 3 for 8. He stands up there like he's serious about it too, Gordy. 1 ball, 0-2 rather. No balls, 2 strikes.
From what I understand, he played a lot of outfield in college. This might be a little tough for this left-hander.
Yeah, I would think so.
See that front foot?
And there it is. Breaking ball.
You're going to talk to that front foot tonight.
That's number 2 of the evening for Randy Tomlin, and now we go back to the top of the Reds batting order and Billy Hatcher.
Here's another look at it. Big curve ball, and ooh, his body gave.
Hatcher opened the game by lining a hit to left and then was thrown out stealing. Billy, one of a number of players in the Reds lineup tonight trying to get off the interstate. That first inning single jumps his batting average up to 177. Oh, and 2. He came in at 164, Braggs at 103, Duncan 188, Quinones 190, Oliver 158. Lee, of course, playing tonight and going to the plate for the first time. Davis hitting 286 and Larkin 256. So a whole boatload of guys on this club trying to get the batting averages to get over that 200 mark. Strike 3, looking, fastball. In the inning, no runs, 1 hit, 1 error, 1. Randy Tomlin.
Batting ninth for the Pirates, pitcher number 29, Randy Tomlin.
Hammond leaving 2 on in the second when he got lean first pitch hitting to ground into a force play at third base. So the Reds threaten in the top of the third. The Pirates have threatened in the second. And it is pitcher against pitcher. Hammond to Tomlin. Strike on the bunt attempt. We talked in Cincinnati when this club was in town, and it's interesting to note the closeness of the games when these two clubs get together, including last year's National League Championship Series. 8 of the last 9 games between these two teams, and 6 of them in a row, have been decided by 2 runs or less. Now, you think back to the decade of the 70s and the great rivalry that the Reds had then, and for that matter still do, with the LA Dodgers. But in terms of exciting baseball, last year and already extending into 1991, this rivalry right here has turned out to be a dandy. That's the second strikeout for Hammond. He'll go to work on Gary Reedus. Taco Bell now with 3 great menus for just $59, $79, or 99 cents. Run for the border.
When you look at the standings this morning, Marty, and see that the Pirates have won 16 ball games, they're leading the major leagues in wins, and you go back to divisional play when it started in '69, they're leading each division. These folks know how to play ball.
Gary Rita 0 for 1, opened the first inning for the Pirates and flied to right. And this has been a Pirate ball club that's really done it in a variety of ways, much as the Reds have. When you go back into the 70s and the Big Red Machine, broken bat pop that Duncan will gather in for the second out, and the Pirates, those teams that they had in the 70s with people that we've talked about so many times, the Dave Parkers and the Willie Stargills, the Al Olivers and Manny Sanguillans, and people of that ilk. And then, of course, winning as they did last year, a very talented ball club to win the East last season, and a team favored by many to win the East this year, but certainly not from top to bottom with the kind of talent that those teams back in the 70s possessed under Danny Murtaugh and, of course, in the latter stages under Chuck Tanner.
Well, the thing I thought about, the great success the Cardinal ball clubs had from, what, 82 back through about 87, that the Pirates still have won 49 more games in the division.
2 men out, nobody on. Jay Bell flied to right also in the first. Hammond 2-1 on him.
Well, he didn't sit there and think either. He gets the ball and he wants to pitch.
Now, he and Tomlin both are rather quick workers. And he's a 3-ball count again after going 3-2 on 4 straight hitters in the second before Lean hit the first pitch to ground into a force out to end the inning. He's now 3 balls, and apparently the plate umpire, Gary Darling, getting some heat, and somebody has gone in the Cincinnati dugout. And I would bet the ranch it's probably Lou Piniella. And now out of, I don't know, maybe not. It looked like he was looking in a different direction. It's certainly no way we have of knowing who got the axe. I'm sure we'll find out later. It might be Paul O'Neill. That would be a real switch. And from the way Lou is talking to Gary Darling, I don't believe it's a Reds manager who got the act, the heave-ho.
Boy, that's a strange call. Of all the people in the dugout, Paul would not have been ahead of my list.
He'd have been down at the bottom if I'd have had to start picking who it might have been. And I don't believe it was Lou Piniella. Now, we'll keep an eye out on that dugout and see who disappears, because we'll not resume play until whoever it is leaves. And O'Neill is leaving, but Benzinger is right behind him.
Boy, that's a costly move this early in the ball game.
Well, Lou's not a happy man. And there's ball 4, so Jay Bell walks, and the batter will be Andy Van Slyke.
Well, we don't know if the Reds have come up 1 or 2 players short.
Well, for Todd Benzinger to be pitched out, that would be equally as shocking as Paul O'Neill. I mean, take your pick. You would certainly not think that one or the other would be thrown out of here. Van Slyke ties into one, and nice running catch by Glenn Braggs to end the inning. Steve Lamar will be sitting in this chair when we come back from the break. No score at the end of 3. Stay with us.
Something new about community.
Foul away by Mariano Duncan. Left-hander Randy Tomlin with the delivery, and it is down low. Scoreless game. We're in the 4th inning. 2 hits for the Reds, 1 for the Pirates. Tomlin, who's 2-0 with a pitch way inside.
Caught Mr. Duncan leaning out over the plate. Look at that curveball.
It appears that it was Paul O'Neill who was ejected from the ball game in the bottom of the 3rd inning. At least that was the announcement here in the press box. Down the left field line, fair ball. Barry Bonds will pick it out of the corner, and Duncan goes to second with a double.
Shortstop Barry Larkin.
Stay right with it. Just over top the glove by inches.
So the Reds with a man in scoring position and nobody out in the 4th inning. Second double of the year for Duncan. Barry Larkin waiting for the pitch from Randy Tomlin.
Well, if that was O'Neill, that's a costly move, you know, this early in the ballgame for a pinch hitter down the line to get run that early.
In tight on Larkin. Barry looking down to Sam Perlazzo. Barry up there among the league leaders in runs scored. Lenny Dykstra is going to be shelled for quite some time, tied for the lead in runs scored with Delano DeShields of the Expos. Now the count 2-0 to Larkin. Mariano Duncan is led off with a double here in the 4th inning. Reds trying to even the series, going to game number 3 tomorrow night.
And ball 3, 3-0.
Out in center field, Andy Van Slyke is way over toward right center.
Boy, there's a big gap in left center.
And a strike. Now it's 3-1. Bonds is straight away and left. Van Slyke way over toward right center. There is that gap in left center field for Larkin right here. Tomlin ready, 3-1, and here it is. Bouncing ball towards second. That's leaned. Out is Larkin. Barry gets the job done.
Boy, he sure does. That's a good team effort right there. You got a guy at third base with less than 2 outs. That's a good move on Barry's part, hitting the ball the opposite field.
Center fielder Eric Davis.
And we check now the JTM National League scoreboard. Expos won there against the Giants last night.
Mr. Strawberry's going home to New York, isn't he?
Mm-hmm. He is there. Eric takes one, ball 1. We'll check the American League scores in the bottom half of the inning. Infield drawn in here with 1 out in a scoreless game in the 4th inning. Davis fouls one away off to the left. 1 ball, 1 strike. Mariano Duncan led off the inning with a double. And Barry Larkin hit a ground ball to the right side of the infield to advance him to third. Pirates with the infield in, 1 out.
Take a little bit too much time for Eric.
Pirates have won 2 of the first 3 meetings between these clubs this year. They won the first game of the series 3-1 last night. Tomlin's pitch. And he misses to Davis to go to 2-1. Eric's home run here last night was the 13th he has hit in his career against the Pirates. Oddly enough, 11 of those 13 have been right here in Pittsburgh. Only 2 at Riverfront. Pitch to him. This one's fouled straight back.
Mr. Lamar had to move. That one almost got him. Where there's good hands, Steven.
I'm out of here. You're the first baseman.
I couldn't catch one with a glove. You know I'm not going to challenge it now. Hey, we got a prize, partner.
Sir, what are you going to do with it?
Good question. I didn't know what to do with it when I played.
Two, the count to Davis. I'm telling you, I'm getting too old to dodge foul balls in the
That's
booth.
a pretty quick move.
In tight on Davis, 3-2. Reds trying to draw first blood here in the 4th inning. Duncan at third, 1 out. Tomlin delivers. Ground ball, third base. Wilkerson up. Duncan has to hold. And the throw scooped out by Gary Reedus.
That was a good play on both ends. Kept a run from scoring. Both ends. This is a tough play with the infield in. Wilkerson makes a nice play and a nice scoop by Reedus. Eric gets good wood on the ball, hits the ball real sharp. Mariano can go. He's dead out at the plate if he does. Nice scoop.
So now the Pirates infield has the luxury of backing up, playing deep with 2 men out. And Terry Lee is the hitter. Ball 1 to Terry Lee. Terry was batting .297 at Nashville with 4 homers. Of course, he came up and played in September for the Reds last year. 2 balls and no strikes.
He's a big, strong fellow, and Lou thinks occasionally, we'll get some pop from the right side of the place. And he's an ideal candidate. Give him a chance to play.
Terry last year hit 15 home runs at Nashville and 8 more at Chattanooga. So he does have some pop. Little bouncer right back to the mound. Tomlin's going to get out of the inning. The Reds waste the leadoff double by Duncan, who's stranded at third. Still no score. Gets a called strike to Bonilla. Chris Hammond is 3-0. And his last 2 victories have come following Reds losses. Trying to make it 3 in a row now. Ground ball, shortstop. That's Larkin. And Barry's throw is in time. There's 1 down. Now Chris Hammond will pitch to Barry Bonds, who is really struggling. Going back to last Friday night when the Pirates opened a homestand, Bonds is 0 for 13. And his average now down to 154. One strike.
Whatever it is with the hitters this year, it must be catching. It's throughout the league.
Yep. Averages are way down. Ball and a strike to Bonds. Reds nothing, Pirates nothing. We're in the bottom of the 4th in Pittsburgh. And Hammond missing with that one to go to 2-1 on Barry Bonds. Bonds has never had trouble with left-handed pitching. He hits left-handers very well.
He led the league in home runs against left-handers last year.
There's a fly ball deep down the left field line, but foul and out of play back in the Reds bullpen. And a chance to check the JTM American League scoreboard. 2 hot clubs there. Twins have won 8 out of 11. 3-2 now to Bonds. White Sox will try to break a 5-game losing streak. Fly ball hit to right. Playable for Braggs, back on the track. 2 men out. Second time tonight that Braggs has had to go deep to haul in a fly ball. Here's a special Reds Network salute to nationwide insurance agent Arthur McGuire, winner of the 1990 President's Conference Award. For all your insurance needs in Ohio, call Arthur McGuire. 2 gone, nobody on. Don Slott, the Pirates catcher, takes a strike. Two more left-handers will work here tomorrow night. Norm Charlton and Zane Smith in the final game of the series. And then the Reds go on to Chicago for the weekend. We'll take you to a very fine restaurant in the Windy City Thursday night, partner.
I'm for it. You picking up the tab?
I'm thinking about it. That was foul down the third base line. It's 1-2.
Looking forward to it. Maybe these hitters are waiting to get to Wrigley Field with the wind blowing out.
It could be. Change up high, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
That always built my spirits.
Yeah, as a hitter, you really would have to look forward to going into the friendly confines, wouldn't you?
Certainly did.
and looking up to see if the wind is blowing out. Another changeup misses, and it's 3-2. Two out, nobody on. Foul back our direction again. That'll come up a little short, back into the crowd.
Maybe we should bring a couple of gloves up here tomorrow night.
3 balls, 2 strikes to Don Slott. Slott off to a good start. And he takes ball 4. That's the 3rd walk by Hammond. He had walked only 7 in 22 innings coming into the ballgame.
Curtis Wilkerson.
Now Curtis Wilkerson, who drew a walk his first time up. Switch hitting infielder, batting right-handed against Chris Hammond.
With the absence of Jeff King out of the Pirate lineup, Wilkerson's filled in very adequately.
High to Wilkerson, ball 1.
They even played Bonilla at third Sunday, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. His first start of the year at third base. He started only 8 or 9 games all of last year there. Jeff King has not been hitting. He also has a stiff back, so Jim Leland has been giving him some time off. Curtis Wilkerson, he's a good man to have on a ball club. He can move around, play most spots in the infield, and does a very good job as a pinch hitter. 1-1 pitch. And way up high. 2-1. No score in this one. The Reds and the Pirates at Three Rivers Stadium. Another disappointing crowd here. Here's the pitch. Line drive down the line in left, a base hit. Slott will stop at second. And the Pirates have 2 on with 2 out.
Good hustle by Billy Hatcher that kept the runner from going to third base. Billy got a good jump on the ball. Wilkerson really hits a line drive. Billy really hustles over, prevents the runner from coming to third.
So Hammond retired the first 2 in the inning. Now he's given up a walk and a soft line drive single by Wilkerson. 2 on with 2 out. Jose Lean, the number 8 hitter in the order, is up there. He's 0 for 5 the last couple of nights. Forced a runner his first time up there this evening. Ball 1 to it.
This is a big out for Chris Hammond because he can keep the Pirates from scoring this inning, have the pitcher leading off the next inning if he can just get Lean out.
Two men on. Pirates threaten in the 4th. And Hammond goes to 2-0 on Lean. Dale Williams, the pitching coach, heading out.
Maybe he thinks Chris is rushing this a little bit too much. He works fast, but these last 3 or 4 pitches, it's like he gets it back and fires it like a robot.
He missed with it. 3-0.
Well, you've got 2 outs, 2 on, and a 3-0 count on the hitter and a pitcher coming up. You let him swing here?
See what Jimmy Leland says. 3 balls, no strikes to Lean. 2 on, 2 out. Hammond's pitch. He takes ball 4. Now they're loaded up. Walks in the ball game for Hammond. Mariano Duncan, the second baseman, will come in to visit with him before the Pirates pitcher Randy Tomlin bats. It's Larry Rothschild, the bullpen coach of the Reds. It looks like that phone is going to ring. It does. Bases loaded, 2 out. Randy Tomlin batting. Called out on strikes his first time. And there's a looper into left center. It will drop. Base hit. Slot scores. Wilkerson scores. The ball gets away. Pirates lead 2-0. Runners at second and third.
Just a little flare, but it was good for 2 runs. Just out of the reach of Barry Larkin's glove. They say that swinging bat's always dangerous.
That is only Randy Tomlin's second major league hit. And there has been charged to Eric Davis. Gary Reedus, the batter. Gary's fly to shallow right and popped to second. 2-0 Pittsburgh. Swinging strike 2. 0-2 to Reedus, the former Red. He was with the Cincinnati Ball Club from 1982 to 85 after coming through the Reds organization.
What a rookie year he had at Billings. When he first broke into pro ball first year, I think it was 82. Hit 462.
Backhanded by Larkin, goes to third, won't get anybody. The ball gets away. Lean scores. Going to second is Reedus. 3-0 Pittsburgh.
Well, the run was going to score. Barry had no play at first base. His only hope was to catch the guy rounding third, and he threw the ball to third base. It just wasn't a very good throw. Barry makes a nice recovery ball. He can't get Reedus at first. It's too far, so all he wants to do is make the play at third. The ball hits the ground, gets away from Quinones. The runner goes to second. That will be an error on Barry.
And a base hit and an RBI for Gary Reedus. Two errors in the inning. Pirates lead 3-0. And there's one off the end of the bat, foul, and back into the stands.
Both his inning got a little sloppy real quick.
It really did. All of this happening after Hammond retired the first 2 in the inning and then walked on Slot. Jay Bell hits a fly ball to left. Back goes Hatcher on the track, and he can't get it. 2 more runs scored. It's 5-0.
Boy, Jay Bell makes a living hitting the red, doesn't he?
He came in batting .359 lifetime against Cincinnati.
Oliver's going to stall for time. Billy gave it a tremendous effort. He just couldn't catch up with the ball.
Well, the Pirates have scored 5 times with 2 men out. They lead 5-0.
And you've really hit one well-hit ball.
Andy Van Slyke, 0 for 2, fly deep to right as last time. Ball 1. And Slyke in the last 5 ball games has had only 1 hit in 14 tries. 1-0 pitch. Now it's 2-0.
This might be Chris Hammond's left-hander with Van Slyke being left-handed because Bobby Bonilla hits both ways. The next 2.
Terry Lee with a nice play. Throws to Hammond, threw behind him, but Chris made a good play to make the catch and go to the bag for the out. The Pirates bat around. They score 5 and lead 5-0 after 4 innings. Maybe they'll come through. They're down 5-0 to Randy Tomlin and the Pirates. Strike call, 2-1. Pirates scoring 5 times on 4 hits with a couple of errors thrown in that 4th inning. 2-1 pitch. Ball 3. Braggs with a left-hander going for the Pirates tonight and also tomorrow night, getting a chance to play. His batting average 100 at the moment, 3 for 30 on the year. Hit the ball hard his first time up, line to left. There's ball 4. So Braggs draws a walk to start things in the 5th.
Get a couple of base runners, somebody will pop one.
First walk of the night by Tomlin. And Quinones will be the batter. He flied deep to left his first time at bat after going 0 for 4 last night. Chris Sabo still sidelined with that lymph node infection on the right side. And Quinones is the third baseman, and he takes ball 1.
One thing that really gets managers upset, you got a 5-run lead, you want your pitcher to throw strikes. Leading off an inning with a walk is not what Mr. Leyland had in mind for this inning.
Not at all. And he goes to 1-0 on Quinones, who bounces one toward the hole. Jay Bell has it to lean. They get the lead runner. So one man is out, and Quinones becomes the runner at first base on the force play.
Big hard slide, but Braggs at second. Kept that ball from being a double play possibly. He really comes into second hard.
Joe Oliver had an infield hit his first time up. Single to the hole at deep short. Fouls one away. This was a good park for Oliver to hit in last year. Get a couple of home runs here at Three Rivers Stadium. Joe still trying to get on track, batting at 179. Now it's 0-2 to Oliver. The pitcher's spot is due next.
Both these youngsters that are pitching tonight pitch like they're about 35 years old. The change-ups, the off-speed pitches, the curve balls, in and out, up and down.
Neither one with very much experience. Strike 3 call. Oliver is caught looking.
I'm sure Joe is telling Mr. Darling that he'd like to have that pitch when he's behind the plate. We'll take another look at that last pitch. It's not where he catches it, it's where it went over the plate.
4 strikeouts now for Tomlin, who is making only his 15th Major League start, and for Chris Hammond only his 7th Major League start. Hammond will be out of the ball game here.
Blues' supply of pinch hitters has diminished since that call by the umpire a while ago.
Jose Rio, standing in the on-deck circle, apparently will come out to bat for Chris Hammond.
That hot batter Rio to get him a pinch hitting assignment.
Mr. Rio has gone 3 for 13, a batting average of .231. Of course, Rio started the game last night, was the losing pitcher, although he pitched very well. He batted twice, reached on an error, and grounded to short. Jose Rio pinch hitting here for Chris Hammond. And he tops it foul right at the plate. 5-0 Pittsburgh. We're in the 5th inning. The Pirates scored 5 times in the bottom of the 4th. All 5 runs scoring with 2 men out.
Maybe Jose will show him that trick play. He's got a great running bunt.
Strike call. The line on Chris Hammond. He went 4 innings, gave up 5 hits, 5 runs, all of them earned. Despite the 2 errors, he walked 4, struck out 2, and in 4 innings he threw 85 pitches. 0-2 delivery, missing away, and Rio didn't go after the waste pitch. One on, 2 out. And a swing and a miss, and the inning's over. 5th strikeout for Tomlin. We're halfway through it in the middle of the 5th. 5-0 Pirates.
Delta Airlines. We love to fly, and it shows.
4.63, and the hitters are hitting at a 2.68 clip in the instinct.
Pirates, right fielder, Bobby.
Scudder's last outing was Friday night at Riverfront against the Cardinals. The losing pitcher in relief as he lost to Chris Carpenter. Gave up 2 runs and 3 hits in just 1 inning as the Reds dropped a 4-2 decision. Bobby Bonilla, the hitter, to lead it off. And the first pitch fouled straight back.
Scott Scudder is replacing Mr. Hammond, who reversed jobs. Hammond started the season in the bullpen, and Scotty was a starter. Now it's reversed.
Bonilla fooled badly, and he's behind 2 strikes.
He is seeing changeups for both left-handers and right-handers tonight.
Got him on 3 pitches.
And that was pretty good fastball.
Yes, it was. That got up there very quickly.
Left fielder, Barry Bonds.
He just reached back and played old-fashioned hardball with this pitch. As they say, there was some giddy-up on that one.
Barry Bonds 0 for 2 tonight. Fly deep to right and bounced out first baseman to the pitcher. And Scudder missing with it. The count 1-0. Pirates batted around, scored 5 times in the bottom of the 4th inning, all with 2 men out. In fact, Chris Hammond, the starter, retired the first 2 batters in that 4th inning, and then all heck broke loose. Three 3-0. Barry Bonds, the MVP last year. As good a player as his dad was, Bobby Bonds, never won the MVP award. Pitch to Barry. There's the strike, 3-1. Left-hander Neil Heaton is now throwing in the Pirates bullpen. Three and 2.
Well, I would think, given the track record of Mr. Tomlin thus far in the season, with his going into the 6th and 7th inning with a 5-run lead, I would think Mr. Heaton might be just throwing for exercise at this point.
Three-2 in the pitch. Line shot right by Scudder.
That hit something. Hopefully it was glove. Boy, that ball got there in a heartbeat, didn't it?
That was blistered right back at the pitcher.
Here it is on the replay. Watch this. Did that hit glove? It was close.
Too close for comfort, huh? 1 on, 1 out in the 5th inning. Don Slott has singled and walked. Now batting .345. Runner goes. Strike. Throw down. Won't get it. Fourth stolen base for Barry Bonds.
The Pirates with a 5-run lead want more. Good jump. Joe gets rid of the ball. It's just a tailing throw.
Bonds was quoted in the newspaper the other day here as saying that he was totally frustrated with himself. Of course, he's batting in the 150s right now, going 1 for 3 tonight, but just felt like he wasn't helping the ball club. Couldn't draw a walk to even get on base and maybe steal a base and help the club. Slot bounces one slowly. Scudder bare hands and throws. Threw it away.
The runner was inside the bags. I think he's going to be called back.
Yep, they're going to call out Don Slot. for running inside the line. The runner, Barnes, will have to go back to second base. He had come across to score.
He interfered with Lee trying to catch the ball. He was running on the inside part of the box down there, and he can't do that. Scotty makes a nice recovery. Bare hands the ball. You can see where Slaught is. He's inside the line. He gets there just as the ball arrives, and Lee can't catch it. Mr. Leland doesn't agree.
Leland talking with a veteran umpire, Doug Harvey, and he's really upset.
He thinks Lee had plenty of time to catch the ball.
Now, it was not Harvey's call. It was Gary Darling, the young plate umpire, who made the call in the National League seasons as an umpire.
Doug doesn't lose too many arguments.
No, he does not. Wilkerson.
That's the second time on our televised games this year that we've had that same play. You don't see that once in the season. We've seen it twice already this year.
Scott Scudder. Missed with it. 1 ball, 1 strike. 5 runs and 6 hits for the Pirates. No runs and just 3 hits for the Reds. And there is a pop-up. Backing up is Larkin. He's under it, makes the catch, and the inning is over. 5 innings in the book in Pittsburgh. Marty Brennaman will be back in a moment. 5-0 Pirates.
Tomlin has, and a foul or fair ball. Took him long enough to call it.
Boy, that was.
Go get him, Dutch. Foul ball. Check him out.
Sam is having a comment with him.
I don't blame him. Hang with him, Dutch. Hatcher 1 for 2. He singled back in the first inning, but was called out on strikes with a chance to drive a run home and 2 outs in the third. That old team meeting and health has it.
You know, we mentioned earlier if Mr. Hammond continued to go 3-0, 3-2, it was going to be a long night. He threw 85 pitches in 4 innings. It was a long, quick one.
And it finally jumped up and bit him. Pitching from behind to the hitters. Jay Bell will not have a problem with this one. We pause 5 seconds for station identification on the Cincinnati Reds television network.
Your #1 sports station in Cincinnati, WLWT.
With Gordy Coleman, Marty Brennaman back here at Three Rivers. 6th inning, 1 out deep into it. Reds being shut out by Randy Tomlin, who goes after his 3rd victory of the season and working with a rather robust 5-run lead. Facing Mariano Duncan and a ball.
No, I went the other way too.
How about Steven?
No, we both scattered. No, it was a direct hit if you stayed there.
You mean right where I'm sitting?
Yeah, right in the chair.
1 strike on Larkin, 2 away in the inning. 1 ball and 1 strike. Maybe that team meeting is going to have a delayed effect. Maybe it won't surface until tomorrow night.
How about the 7th inning?
Be fine. Because I can guarantee you one thing, it ain't going to get any easier tomorrow night with Zane Smith pitching. Larkin calls time. He backs off.
Well, this is one of the few rare occasions, Marty, that the Reds have found themselves this far behind.
Yeah, absolutely. He muscles one into deep left center field. Bonds goes to the wall and looks up. And the ball hits high off the fence. They can't find it. And Barry's going to end up at 3rd, standing. That should be a 3-base hit all the way. And that is another $1,200 donation to the Caring Program for Children, thanks to Cellular One, Crest, and Community Mutual. And that puts the season's total now at $20,000. It was $18,800, tack on $1,200 more, and he really tied into that one.
It looks like when the ball bounces back off the wall, it hits Barry's hand. Yeah, hit his hand and fell behind him.
And here's Eric Davis. Ball to him. Davis has struck out and bounced to third base. Penguins have scored again, apparently.
Sounds like it. Well, the Pittsburgh Pirates are shooting for a double barrel knockout.
Yes, sir. 2-1. Base hit by Larkin, the fourth hit of the game for the Reds team. Inside, ball 3.
I would have to say that he's trying to crowd Eric. Has been one pitch the outside part of the plate.
Very accurate assessment. Checking Larkin, pitching. And that's going to drop. And it will score. Barry Larkin, and the Reds are on the board as Davis bloops one into left field to make it a 5-1 ball game.
At least we're one closer. This young man, hey, the manager's going out already.
Ray Miller's the pitching coach of the Pittsburgh Pirates, and he, on instructions from manager Jim Leland, going out to talk with Randy Tomlin. We saw a 5-run score with 2 out and nobody on base in the Pirate 4th inning. And the first 2 batters retired here in the 6th for Cincinnati. Then the triple. Forgot to mention last night, failed to mention that Lou yesterday was on the Regis and Kathy show, syndicated program out of New York, yesterday morning to promote his new video, baseball video entitled Winning Ways. I'm sure it will be widespread and on sale in our fair city in the next few days. And he's very proud of the video, and of course, Lou being an expert on hitting, that's basically what the video is all about. Here's Terry Lee hoping the 3rd time is a charm. Well, there's another broken bat for Terry Lee. That's the second one they've gotten from him tonight. We want to apologize to you folks along our Reds television network for the audio difficulties that we are experiencing, and we'll hopefully have them cleared up very, very shortly. Lee back out and with a new one.
I would imagine that Terry's going to probably have to borrow some bats. He probably didn't bring that many with him from Nashville.
He went to the plate a total of 19 times with the big league club last September, had 4 hits, including 1 extra base hit, a double, and drove in 3 runs. Getting to start tonight after joining the ball club from Nashville yesterday. Hit it hard, but Wilkerson knocks it down, picks it up, and offline, and off Reedus' glove. Davis is going to try and score, and will do it easily.
Kept running all the way.
That's a 5-2, only because of just flat-out hustle by Eric Davis.
Never broke stride, kept moving. Ball was really hit hard. He kept the ball in front of him, then he throws it away. He really got in behind him.
That's going to be an error all the way on Curtis Wilkerson, and Eric Davis scores all the way from first base. And if there were any nagging doubts about whether or not that hamstring was 100%, not anymore, because he was just flat airing it out.
And being down 5-1, it never crossed his mind. He just kept running.
And here's Braggs now with 2 out and 2 runs in, and Glenn is 0 for 1 with a walk. And the Pirate bullpen is busy. Strike.
I think Ray Miller went out to remind Tomlin that don't get too relaxed out here. 5 runs, you know, with these guys. If you got some fellas in one swing, make this thing real close.
Well, all 7 runs scored in the game now have been scored after 2 were out. 5 for Pittsburgh, 2 so far for Cincinnati. Terry Lee over at first. Braggs down a strike, batting an even 100. He is the worst of the lot, folks. The left-hander is Neil Heaton. The right-hander is Stan Belinda. 2.
You recall the big inning the Reds had down in Atlanta when they got 1 hit, when they get 5 runs? With all the wild pitch, everything went all
That's an
down.
absolute aberration.
Wasn't that
Is
something?
ugly. But they take an inning like that right now.
Yes, sir.
It has not been a well-played game defensively. Each team has committed 2 errors. Into right center field, but it'll hang up for Bobby Bonilla. We want to apologize to all of you folks watching our telecast from Pittsburgh because of the continuing audio difficulties. They are working on it. Hang with them.
There's an old baseball expression.
There it is again. Tomlin due to hit, and he will. Pirate bullpen working in earnest when the Reds were scoring twice in the last inning with Belinda and Heaton, but they've since settled back down. All quiet on that front. His second big league hit and his first of the year, a big one. A 2-run single with 2 outs in the 4th inning. And 2. I'd hate to think what Lou Piniella would give to see his club score 5 times in one game.
It might make you smile again.
It might.
I wonder if he smiled when he was on that TV show yesterday, because he hadn't done a whole lot of it around here.
Well, they say it was very good.
Was that good?
Yeah, yeah.
Because his spirits hasn't been real exciting. And with good reason.
2 and 2, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
There's no more serious person in the world, in the baseball world, than Lou. He really cares every game 24 hours.
And intense. Extremely intense. That's all for Tomlin. And that's the second strikeout for Scudder. He rang up Bobby Bonilla to begin the last inning. He needs a shave. You want to lend him a razor?
No, he might not want to get that close to his throat about this time.
Probably, I don't know. He's tired of talking about the lack of offense. It's what he told the writers after the game last night. I don't want to talk about it anymore. He said, I've done all the talking I'm going to. He said, they're the ones that have to do it. And I'll tell you, when you look up and down the stat sheet, there is not a player on this ball club, position players, anybody who can say, I've not gotten an opportunity, because he has flat out given everybody a chance. Now, certainly there are guys with more at-bats than others, the Sabos and the Larkins and people like that. But everybody has gotten an appreciable number of at-bats. And, boy, when you talk about something being a team thing and we're all in it together, this has essentially been a team slump, with some exceptions. One most notable, of course, would be Hal Morris. And he really pondered the inclusion of Terry Lee tonight, because it certainly simply meant having to sit Morris down. One and two, 2 out in the inning. And an easy 6th inning turned in by Scott Scudder as the Pirates go down 1, 2, 3. And at the end of 6, the Reds looking up. And he takes the ball from Randy Tomlin. Pitcher Scudder due up 3rd in the inning, so the bullpen busy for the Reds. 2-0.
Pirates got double barrel action in their bullpen.
Jimmy Leland leaving nothing to chance. At the knees for a strike. Ted Power, who pitched out of the other bullpen last year here. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And it's the same duo of Stan Belinda, the right-hander, and Neil Heaton, the left-hander for Pittsburgh. 2-2 pitch. Wow. Not by much.
Randy Tomlin keeps their 3 left-handed starters intact by going into another quality start.
Yep. He made that point, that note early in the game, how the trio of left-handers in the rotation were 9 and 2, and only one time in the 13 starts combined had they not taken it into at least the 6th inning. So Tomlin has made it 13 out of 14. Working here in the 7th. And the count holds at 3 balls and 2 strikes. He walked him. So a good at-bat for Luis Quinones. And I don't think Jimmy Leland will allow Tomlin a great amount of latitude at this point. In fact, I don't think he's going to get him any.
Good call.
That's going to be all as he makes his way toward the mound. He takes a quick look down toward the bullpen and signals immediately that he wants the right-hander Stan Belinda. So Belinda will come on to pitch. 5-2 the score, Pirates, after the leadoff walk to Quinones. Belinda jogging in from the bullpen. He'll take over on the mound. We've got a break of the action, and we'll be back in a moment.
Anso 5 worry-free carpet. More than stain resistant, it's totally worry-free. You've seen it everywhere else for $14 and $15. Now, it's just $7.99 per square yard at Tim Hogan's. Or choose upgrade Anso stain release carpet. Heavyweight and warranted for 10 years. Only $9.89 per square yard. Make no payments, nothing, till next November. Nowhere else but Tim Hogan's Carpets.
Tim Hogan's the way. Today. Tim Hogan's the way to buy carpets.
What do you get in Midas's $59 basic brake service? Great value and a job done right. Nobody beats Midas. Nobody.
Have you seen Sally lately? They're transsexuals.
You're never really going to know until you try it.
And they're in love.
When I see Kelly, with or without clothes, what I see is a beautiful woman.
Confused? Next Sally. See what you've been missing on Sally, tomorrow at 4 on News Channel 5.
Pizza Hut presents the return of the $4 pizza deal.
Okay, so we know the deal. Our first pizza is...
regular price.
And up to 4 more pizzas are each...
$4.
What about a Super Supreme, a meat lovers, and a pepperoni pizza?
Regular price, $4, $4.
How about a pepperoni lovers and a cheese lovers plus pizza?
Regular price, $4.
5 Supreme.
Regular price, $4, $4, $4, $4.
The $4 pizza deal, back for a limited time only. First pizza regular price, then as many as 4 more, just $4 each.
Okay, what about 2 Supremes, a meat lovers, your phone number, and a pepperoni lover?
Regular price, $4, $4. Not for $1 million, $4.
Hardball Pizza Hut, making it great.
Stan Belinda is the new Pirate pitcher. He brings a big, strong arm from the side. He's been in 9 ball games. This will be his 9th. He's got a 2-1 record, which is very impressive, but he's got a 5.91 ERA, and he's really strange with an ERA like that. The hitters are only hitting 179 against him, which is really different.
Well, he's walked 6 batters in 10 2/3 innings while giving up 7 hits, so base runners have been frequent against Stan Belinda. Joe Oliver, the first man he faces, and a high towering drive that will be way foul and dropping into the visitors' bullpen.
Young man has a good arm.
Please hang.
Kehoe is a pinch hitter back in the 5th inning with 2 outs and a man on. And he was struck out. A good outing by Scott Scudder in the 2 innings of 1-hit shutout baseball with 2 strikeouts. That breaks a string. He had allowed the opposition to score his last 4 times to the mound, but not tonight. Threw the ball very well. Herm looking for his first hit of the year against Pittsburgh pitching. Quinones drew the walk to begin the inning against Tomlin. He got the hook. Belinda came on to get Oliver on the pop to second. 1 away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Now, the one thing the Reds have not had all year long has been a 3-run home run. 15 solos and 5 2-runners. And while they are 3rd in the National League in home runs, that really does not tell the story. What does tell the story, the 15 home runs with nobody on. Pirates have out hit the Reds 6-5, and Pittsburgh got all 5 of its runs in the 4th. The Reds scored twice in the 6th inning. And with 1 out and 1 on here in the 7th, a 1 ball 2 strike count on the pinch hitter Herm Winningham. 2-2. I bring up the 3-run home run, or the absence thereof, for this team, because a 3-run Johnson would tie this game up. Two the count. Ball 3. Winningham looks to Sammy Perlazo. So too does Quinones. Hands on hips over there at first. I would be surprised if they run Louis here in this situation.
Yeah, down 3 runs, they probably wouldn't do that, Marty.
And they don't. And it's a pop-up on the infield again. This team's got to lead the world in infield pop-ups. 2 outs. That's the 5th time tonight that a Red has popped up on the infield. Hatcher did it in the 6th inning. He's 1 for 3 after getting a base hit to begin the game. So Belinda has come on to retire Oliver and Winningham on pop-ups. Meanwhile, at Shea Stadium in New York, Darryl Strawberry has hit a 2-run home run in the 6th inning, but it is 6-2 New York. Andy Van Slyke tracking it, and the inning is over. No runs, no hits, and 1 left in the middle of the 7th. 5-2 Pittsburgh.
7th inning, the Reds have a new pitcher, and it's Ted Power. Ted is making his 10th appearance. He has won 2, lost 1 with a great 2.08 ERA. And the hitters are only hitting 172 against him. Teddy's done a good job.
Indeed he has. He's really thrown the ball extremely well of late. In fact, Lou, in the last couple of days, in talking about the problems that Randy Myers has experienced, has pointed up that, you know, if necessary, he could use Power as a closer in certain circumstances, given the way Ted has been throwing the ball.
And in Teddy's career, he's been using everything from starting to finishing, so he's done it all.
Gordy, I've often made the statement, and I'll repeat it because I think about it every time this guy comes into a game, and I felt that way when he was with the Cardinals and with the Pirates. When I write my book, he will go down as one of my all-time favorite Reds players.
He's certainly a nice fellow.
He's got a lot of class. He never alibis when he has a bad outing. If he stinks, he says, I stink. He doesn't pin the blame on anybody else. The guy's got an awful lot of class. Jay Bell greets him rather rudely with a base hit, number 7 of the night for Pittsburgh.
And Jay Bell greets most Reds pitchers like that.
strike is 0 for 3, so that 1,000th career hit has proven to be rather elusive for Andy. So far, hitless in the series. Has hit the ball in the air twice tonight with 1 ground out. And was 0 for 2 with a couple of walks in last night's game. 5-2. The Reds got to hold them right here if they want to realistically entertain hopes of coming back and maybe winning this game and power behind 2-0. You know, grilling out is really one of the great pleasures of spring, and grilling JTM hamburgers or pork chopettes or beef grill steaks or all of them at once lifts that pleasure to absolutely new heights. Nothing tastes better hot off the grill than JTM burgers, chops, and steaks. Out of play, 2-1. Well, the good line. The Dodgers can't catch him. The Giants can't pitch him. And the Reds can't hit him. And that pretty aptly sums up the situation on the 3 clubs, and that line's too good for me to lay claim to it. I got to give you credit for that one, because that basically is the story. The Dodgers' terrible defense, the Giants, the worst pitching in the National League, and the Reds simply awful offensively.
And that's why we're a half game out of first place.
Thank God for the pitching. 2-2 and holding. Atlanta pounding the Cardinals 9-2 at Fulton County Stadium. And a former Pirate, Rafael Belliard, has tripled with the bases loaded. A 5-run Atlanta 5th inning, and they are still batting.
That's a vastly improved ball club.
You're not kidding, boy. And they've gotten decent pitching. Ball 3.
They follow the Reds in here.
Again, our apologies for the continuing audio problems experienced here in Pittsburgh, and problems that you folks are having to contend with right now. They're still working on it. Runner will probably be going. Power with a quick step off, and he looks Bell back. Three balls, 2 strikes, a rather lengthy at-bat for Andy Van Slyke. After Bell's leadoff single, he's running, and he'll come back. Look out. They rocket into the seats. Unfortunately, it didn't get anybody.
Boy, that was a headhunter.
It is a 5-2 ball game. The Pirates are trying to make it 2 in a row. The winningest club in the major leagues at the moment, the Pirates, and with a 3-run lead late tonight. There goes Bell. There's ball 4, and the Buccos have their first 2 on. Ted Tower finds himself in trouble. Story on Bonilla tonight, a strikeout, a ground out to short, and another punch out. He hit it hard, but Braggs is there. Bell tags, and he'll come on to third. 1 away. And now Barry Bonds, with runners on the corners and 1 man out. This reminder, while we're thinking about it, our next telecast on the Reds Television Network, we will be emanating from venerable old Wrigley Field in Chicago Friday afternoon. Tom Browning will pitch that series opener against Don Zimmer's Cubs. At the knees, strike 1.
Reds had pretty good success with them at home.
Swinging the bats pretty well. I talked to Tom today. They're down in Houston and rather excited about tonight's game. They've got the youngster Bob Scanlon making his Major League debut. We saw him as a Philadelphia Philly this spring, and he was a part of that trade that sent Mitch Williams from the Cubs to the Phillies. So Scanlon called up, got a good arm, throws hard, and pitching for the Cubs tonight down in Houston against Xavier Hernandez. George Bell's gotten his act tuned up a little bit. 7 home runs now. First and third, one out here. Bond's a tough guy to double up because he can run. The infield looking for the ground ball, nevertheless, and they pitch out thinking that Van Slyke might be running, but he wasn't. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
They had a pitch to waste. It was a good call.
Oliver with a good pickup, 2-2. 5 runs, 7 hits, 2 errors for Pittsburgh. 2 runs, 5 hits, 2 errors for the Reds. Not a good outing tonight for Chris Hammond. Around for only 4. And the 2-2 pitch. Nope, a throw over, and Van Slyke hustling back. Paying a lot of attention all of a sudden to Andy Van Slyke. He must be convinced that when Power next commits himself to the plate, Van Slyke is going to take off. The lead runner is Jay Bell over at third. And now the infield coming in. Nice play. Terry Lee steps on the bag and throws the ball, and Larkin unable to handle it.
That was double play ball.
They had a double play. A great play by Terry Lee. He tapped the bag to retire Bonds and gave Larkin a good throw, and Barry couldn't handle it. The Pirates get a run out of it.
Looks like a good look at that because it looked like the ball hit his glove. Great play by Terry Lee. Extended all the way, all 6'6" of it. Throws the ball's up.
Good throw. I mean, that Barry's got to make that play. Larkin's had a terrible night. He's made a throwing error earlier. He gets an error on that play. Base hit. Safe all the way around.
Pirates taking advantage of every little miscue. Take another look. Pass ball down. He went right with it. Eric's throw's cut off by Oliver. Hurried throw, off balance.
Here's Curtis Wilkerson. I haven't heard yet how exactly, you have a hard time hearing the way they score things up here and how they scored that play. They've not flashed an error on the board on the play that Larkin allowed the throw to get away from him. I think they credited Bonds with a run batted in because you can't assume a double play. Barry grounded out 3 unassisted with Bell scoring, and Wilkerson swings again and misses, and now they flash an error on the board. That would be against Larkin. And then, of course, an RBI base hit by Don Slaught that allows Van Slyke to score. So the Pirates get the 2 runs back in the 7th that the Reds scored in the 6th inning, and they again lead by 5 at 7-2. Been on 2 times with a walk and a base hit. He's also scored a Pirates run. Inning is over, but Pittsburgh comes up with a couple of runs. At the end of 7, they again lead by 5. Steve Lamar will be back when we return.
Duncan, Larkin, and Davis here against right-hander Stan Belinda. Breaking ball, and the count is now 0-2 to Duncan. Mariano has one of the 5 Cincinnati hits tonight. Got him swinging, and there's one down.
Boy, that was legitimate. He just blew him right down.
Belinda's first strikeout. He's worked an inning and a third. And we check the Valvoline National League scoreboard. We will. There we are. Giants have lost 6 out of 7, but they have the lead tonight. Those Braves. That's a big, big game for Rafael Belliard. He has at least 5 RBIs in that game for Atlanta. Barry Larkin takes one. It's out of the strike zone. We'll check the American League scores in the bottom half of the inning. Right field. Bobby Bonilla on the run and makes the catch. Nice running catch by Bobby Bonilla.
Full speed, bounces off the fence. I'm surprised the fence didn't go down big as that fella is.
Eric Davis will bat with 2 men out. There's a strike to Eric. 7-2 Pittsburgh. All 9 runs in this game scored with 2 men out.
That ball hit everybody, the catcher and umpire.
Yeah, it looked like it. 0-2. Gary Darling, he's the plate umpire. Don Slott, the catcher. Eric Davis is batting. This is not a good way to start the road trip. Reds lost last night. They trailed by 5 tonight, late in the game. Breaking ball misses, 1-2. Stan Belinda pitched in 55 games a year ago for the Pirates, won 3, lost 4, and had 8 saves. Just missed, 2-2. And Davis gets drilled.
Boy, he really got hit.
And right in the back, and Eric is in some pain.
Tailing fastball, just kept running right up underneath the shoulder blade. Boy, that's got to hurt. Yes, sir. It turned. That went really right up underneath the shoulder.
Terry Lee apparently has been called back, and Piniella apparently will go to a left-handed hitter here for him against the right-hander Belinda. No action in the Pirates bullpen at the moment. Al Morris will be the pinch hitter. Al will bring that .382 batting average up there as a pinch batter, and he's 1 for 2 as a pinch hitter this year. game of the series will be tomorrow night. Two more left-handers, Norm Charlton and Zane Smith. Then the Reds go on to Chicago. They'll have an off day on Thursday and play the Cubs over the weekend at Wrigley Field in a 3-game series before winding up the road trip in St. Louis next week. Morris swinging a hot bat. 1 on, 2 out, 8th inning. Gary Reedus, the first baseman, plays behind the runner, Eric Davis. Ball 1 to Hal Morris. Look at that huge hole again out in left center field.
That is really strange, Steve. I have not understood that either night.
That's even a wider gap than was out there last night with Morris batting. Man. Now this one is into right center, shallow, and it will drop in. Base hit. Eric Davis heads for third. He'll be in there easily. And Hal Morris has a pinch hit single. And an 8-game hitting streak.
Right fielder,
That's the left-hander Neil Heaton, veteran major leaguer who's been with the Pirates, the Minnesota Twins, and the Cleveland Indians. Now the Reds need a big 2-out hit.
Well, all the runs tonight have been scored with 2 out.
All 9 of them. 7 for the Pirates, 2 for the Reds. And this fella right here is really overdue. His batting average is less than 100. Glenn Braggs. Strike to him from Belinda. Field. Back goes Van Slyke. He'll have room. Edge of the track. The inning's over. The Reds leave 2. We go to the bottom of the 8th. They trail by 5. 1/3 of an inning and was scored upon. Gave up a run on 2 hits and walked 1. An earned run average you saw for Carmen. 6.35 is the highest on the Cincinnati pitching staff. And Jose Lean, the batter, leading off in the bottom of the 8th. He's 0 for 2 with a walk tonight.
Final power, 1 inning, 2 hits, 2 runs, 1 earned run, 1 walk, 1 strikeout.
This one foul back. 7-2 the score. The Pirates on top. That foul ball hit the facing of the mezzanine level here, the press level, and then bounced down below.
You seem to attract foul balls tonight.
I keep telling people that come into this booth, don't challenge those foul balls. They hurt. Carmen's pitch. Missing high. 2-2 to Jose Lean.
Folks will mess up a very expensive suit to get one of those, though.
Yeah, they sure will. Lean 0 for 6 in this series. Stan Belinda, the pitcher, due to hit next. Left center field, Eric Davis on his horse, racing way back. He can't get it. And it is off the wall. Lean will stop with a double. Don Carmen continues to struggle. He's having trouble getting anybody out.
That was really a low fastball. That ball wasn't even a strike, and he went down and golfed it.
Now here's Belinda, the relief pitcher. Been up once without a hit this year. Reds look for a bunt. Belinda does not square. He takes the strike. It's Gene Lamont, the third base coach. He's one of the few players in the history of the major leagues to homer on his first major league at-bat.
That's an accomplishment.
And he didn't hit many in his career. 2 strikes now to Belinda. Quinones at third, still up in front of the bag. Morse now will back up at first base with 2 strikes on Belinda. Away from him, 1-2. Pittsburgh Pirates came into play tonight with the best record in the major leagues, and they're leading again tonight 7-2 over the Reds. Got him swinging. So Carmen strikes out the pitcher. And there's 1 out in the 8th inning.
First baseman, Gary Reedus.
And we check the American League scoreboard thanks to Valvoline. Minnesota Twins going for their 9th win in the last 12. White Sox trying to break a 5-game losing streak, and 3 games coming up on the coast later on. And you're up to date on all the scores now. Here in Pittsburgh, it's 7-2 Pirates in the bottom of the 8th. Gary Reedus, the batter, with 1 on, leaned at second, and 1 out. Don Carmen delivers. Fouled away. We pause 5 seconds for station identification on the Cincinnati Reds television network.
Your #1 sports station in Cincinnati, WLWT.
Steve Lamar with Gordy Coleman and Marty Brennaman at Three Rivers Stadium in Pittsburgh. Count now is 2-1 to Gary Reedus. Gary has a base hit and a run batted in tonight. Hits a fly ball into left center. There's Eric. And 2 men are out. And here's a special Reds Network salute to Nationwide Insurance agent Robert Henderson, winner of the 1990 President's Conference Award. For all your insurance needs in West Virginia, call Robert Henderson.
Boy, all the Reds have to do is come in and tell Mr. Bell gets out of a slump, doesn't he?
He really does. Jay, 2 hits tonight, a couple of RBIs. Came in batting .359 lifetime against Reds pitching. He hits the Reds by far better than any other club in the National League. Jay Bell, by the way, is another fellow who homered on his first major league at bat when he was with the Cleveland Indians. In fact, he homered on the first major league pitch he saw at the Metrodome in Minneapolis off Bert Blyleven 3 or 4 years ago.
Then they welcome you back to the pack. Get that first AB over.
Two 2-0, Carmen's pitch. Jay Bell takes the strike, 2-1.
My first big league at bat was in the American League, but my first National League bat, I had the pleasure of doing that. In fact, my first 2 at bats were home run to double in National League.
Pretty good start.
Had a catcher named Ed Bailey. He says, "Kid, this league's not that easy." He was right.
Bell taking low and in, and it's 3-1.
Later on that same game, I found out he was right. Bob Gibson was his rookie year, was mopping up. He threw me 3 of the best sliders I ever saw in my life. I come dragging that bat back to the bench. Now he's waiting at the top step. He says, "Now welcome to the league."
Lonis Edgar Bailey.
Yes, sir.
He was a good one.
Strawberry Plains, Tennessee.
Mm-hmm. 3 balls and a strike to Jay Bell. 3-2. Reds lost last night 3-1. They're trailing by 5 runs in the bottom of the 8th tonight. In the 9th, Quinones, Oliver, and a pinch hitter for Don Carmen. 3-2 in the pitch. In the air to right field. Back goes Braggs. Now he backpedals on the track to make the catch. And that'll do it for the Penn Belinda. Belinda missed with the first delivery. Next one is a strike. 1-1. Bill Dorn is out on deck. Joe Oliver scheduled to hit next. Fly ball hit to right. Bobby Bonilla gets it lined up. 1 out in the 9th inning. Say the family of Budweiser beers is proud of all the friendships they've helped make. So when they remind you to know when to say when, it's all in the name of friendship.
Number 19, Bill Doran.
Bill Doran up there is the pinch batter. Doran appeared as a pinch hitter last night in the 9th inning and lined softly to Jose Lean. That was that sensational play that Lean made out behind second base.
You won't see me any better than that, Steve.
He also made a brilliant play to start a double play in the 6th inning last night. 1 ball, 1 strike as Doran bats here for Joe Oliver. Todd Benzinger has come out on deck to bat for the pitcher, Don Carmen. Foul to the screen. Now it's 1-2. Tomorrow night, Norm Charlton goes to the mound looking for his 2nd win of the year against Zane Smith. Doran couldn't hold up. He's out on strikes. Second strikeout for Belinda, who is working his 3rd inning of relief as he looks for his 3rd save of the year.
Batting for Garden, number 25, Todd Benzinger.
Reds down to their final out of the night. Todd Benzinger to pinch hit for Don Carmen. One strike to Benzinger.
All Belinda's doing at this point is just challenging. 5-run lead, 2 outs. Make him hit.
Pitchers of record are the starters, Randy Tomlin and Chris Hammond. Now Belinda is ahead of him, 2 strikes. Benzinger stays alive by tapping it foul over toward the Pirates dugout. 0-2 the count.
You know, last year, Steve, the Pirates had 9 separate pitchers have saves from their bullpen, so I guess that's by committee. But I guess when it comes to being a closer, Mr. Belinda is accepted as their own.
3 pitchers have saves this year for Pittsburgh to this point. Here's the pitch. And it's now 1-2. Pirates looking for their 17th win of the year against 9 losses. Last year at this time they were 17-8, so they're right about that same pace of a year ago. 1-2 pitch. Popped up, short left. Barry Bonds wants it, and it's all over. Stan Belinda closes it out, pitching 3 strong innings in relief and giving up just 1 hit to record the save. And the Pittsburgh Pirates have taken the first 2 games of this series, winning last night 3-1, and tonight by the score of 7-2. Stan Belinda with his 3rd save of the year, Randy Tomlin winning his 3rd game, and Chris Hammond takes his 1st loss of the year. Final score, the Pirates 7, the Reds 2, and we'll be back from Three Rivers Stadium in a moment.